how to recharge the house in all ways, in physical way, in relational ways, and in spiritual ways. It means how to nourish, how to recharge, how to elevate the consciousness of any house. As we see that whatever tool we use, we have to use charger to recharge our mobile. If we want to work, then we need food, we need rest, and we need happiness. Like the definition of a healthy person is in Ayurveda, samadosha, samagnesha, samadhatu malakriya, prasanna atma, indriya mana, Sthapatya Ved Vaastu. It means a good house should have all those qualities so that all these things which are described in these definitions should be all right. Like the healthy physiology should have some dosha. Samadosha means everybody has basic qualities. So those qualities are Vata, Pitta and Kapha. So if Vata, Pitta and Kapha are in order, are in harmony, then a person is in healthy state. Similarly, a house, if it has a good Vata, Vata means Vayu. So if it has a good cross ventilation, good quality of air, in different seasons we have different quality of winds. Similarly, like Pitta. Pitta means Agni, fire, energy. So we know that in different seasons we have different radiations. Like in summers, south and west becomes terribly hot. Temperature goes to 48 degrees. So similarly, if a house has a good Pitta quality, Pitta means Agni, fire. So we should take care of that every house should have a right Pitta quality. It means Pitta quality means it must have right opening, right proportions of opening and right directions so that the right sun and right proportion enters and the heat in all seasons all around the year, it is kept in ideal state. So whatever type of people live in that house, whether Vata prominent, Pitta prominent, Kapha prominent, and it means Vata Pitta Kapha prominent means some people are acid prominent, some people are everybody is of a different type. So if this house has a good Pitta quality, it means right proportion of windows, doors, in right directions. So it right radiations, right solar radiations, right celestial radiations enter in that house. So that Pitta is in harmony. Similarly, Kapha quality. Kapha quality means coolness. Kapha means water content, liquid content, which keeps the water liquid in cool state. Kapha quality. So it means if we have good temperature, if it is aligned nicely with climatic conditions, so that the person who is living there is having cool mind, comfortable mind, stability is there. So Vata, Pitta, Kapha should be in order. So the next line of healthy person says, Samadosha, Samagnisha, Samadhatu. There are 7 types of tissues in body. Ras, Rakt, Mas, Med, Asti, Majja, Shukra. Ras means fluid, Rakt means blood, Mas means flesh, Med means fat, Asti means bone, Majja means bone marrow, Shukra means semen. So it means like a human physiology has 7 tissues, so it should be in order. So in good Vastu, in good house, all these qualities which are affecting all these 7 tissues should be in order. So how these tissues are affected? These tissues are affected by the quality of composition of different proportions, different colors, different plants, different interiors, all different openings. So whatever qualities we have that gives impact on human physiology, so those should be in order. And then it says Samadosha, Samagnisha, Samadhatu, Malakriya, means digestive system. So digestive system, like a healthy person should have good digestive system. Similarly, a house should be in such a shape and proportions and opening and colors and interiors so that the digestion is strong. So as we know that when a newly born baby takes birth and starts suffering from jaundice, then these modern doctors, they ask parents to expose that child in early morning rising sun. So what that rising sun does, that radiation of rising sun, if a newly born baby who is suffering from jaundice is exposed in that early morning rising sun, then jaundice goes away, jaundice is cured. So see the scientific reasoning of that. If jaundice is cured, it means that early morning rising sun has the quality to cure the liver. It means that rising sun, that radiation of rising sun is non-matter, but that radiation has the quality to create some matter, that is some chemical in your body, and that chemical, that medicinal quality of that chemical cures the liver. It means the early morning radiation, if we have that, the body is exposed with that early morning radiation, then liver becomes strong. So it means if the house is having the radiation of early morning radiation is coming in the house, then it means the digestion, the liver function of that house, of the persons who are living in that house, would be very good. So it means all those people who are living in that house, the liver would be very nice. It means digestion would be very strong, very good. So if digestion is strong, then our body is strong. When body is strong, then we breathe oxygen. Oxygen goes in lungs and it mixes with our blood and oxyhemoglobin is formed, and that is supplied to every part of the body, and body becomes healthy. So if digestion is strong, then body becomes strong. So it says now the material value of healthy person, which are described in the sutra of a healthy person, samadosha, samagnisha, samadhatu malakriya. It means all these physical qualities which can be tested in pathological lab are good in a house. But till all those physical qualities are okay, a person can't be called healthy, because we must have seen many examples in our family, friends, and other people whom we know, that sometimes it happens that all the pathological tests say that a person is normal. All the parameters of pathological lab says that a person is normal, but a person is sick. Why? Because all those parameters which can be tested in pathological lab, they tell you that a person is in ideal condition. All the protein, carbohydrate, mineral, vitamins, this and that, all those material values are in order, are in right proportion, but a person is sick. Why? Because the next line of that mantra, of that sutra, which describes healthy body, says Samdosha Samagnisha Samdhatu Malakriya. In second line it says Prasan Atma Indriya Mana Swasthya Vidhiyate. It means, as we must have seen, that if all physical parameters, pathological parameters are normal, but a person is not normal, he is not healthy, she is not healthy, it means only physical conditions cannot make a person healthy. So this is something wonderful, very nice what this mantra sutra says. The next line says, Samdosha Samagnisha Samadhatu Mulakriya Prasan Atma Indriya Mana Swasthya Vidhiyate. It means, it says Prasan Atma. Prasan means happiness. Atma means soul. Indriya means all senses. Mana means mind. Prasan Atma Indriya Mana Swasthya Vidhiyate. So it means Samadosha Samagnisha Samdhatu Mulakriya. It means all physical parameters should be in order, in right proportion, and all those parameters which are not physical, which are in abstract state, which can be tested in pathological lab, those should be in order also. So, Prasan Atma Indriya Mana Swasthya Vidhiyate. It means a person should be healthy, the soul of the person should be happy, senses of a person should be happy, and mind should be happy. So, how to test those things? Those are abstract. So, you can't test soul or senses or mind in pathological lab. So, because those are abstract values. So, like if we put magnet, if we put magnet, North Pole together, so they will repel. So if we test it in a pathological lab, what would we find? Similarly, if we put our body in alliance with magnetic field, then our body, all the we have so much of metal, and many types of metal we have, ferrous and non-ferrous both. So because ferrous behaves in a particular manner with magnet, magnet attracts ferrous material. Iron comes closer to it, touches the magnet immediately. So similarly, if we are in right, sleeping in right direction, and blood is flowing rightly, then the metal iron content of body would be in harmony, in right way. It will function rightly. So it means if we are not aligned, if we don't sleep in right direction, like we should never sleep putting head towards north. In India, when a person dies, then only one person is, kept on the ground, putting head towards north. So these are symbolic values which teaches, just to teach everybody that don't sleep putting head towards north, because only dead people are made to lie like that. It because when blood flows toward north, and we know that Earth has North Pole there, so something not good happens in the body because of that magnetic repulsion and all those things. So it means if our body is not aligned rightly with magnetic fields, with all those forces which can be seen, which can be tested in the lab, if body is sick because of not keeping body in right magnetic alliance, then what would be test in lab? We will simply test that this is wrong. But why these things are wrong, this can't be described or verified or so. But because those are non-material values, so the body should be kept in right alliance with magnetic field. It should be exposed rightly with the right subjects. If we see good subjects, happy subjects, good colors all around us, it makes us happy, it makes us beautiful, it makes us blissful. So this bliss, this happiness, it is not, it cannot be tested. You can't test it in pathological lab. This is abstract value, na? So it means when a right interior, right colors, right topic of paintings, if we see violent things all around, negative things all around, not happy subject all around, we see all those wars, all those carnivorous animals, all those happenings which are not making us happy. If all those subjects of painting and sculptures, and if all those harsh colors are there which are not suitable for our physiology, every body has a vata, pitta, kapha prominence. So every color affects every physiology differently. Some colors aggravate acidity, some colors they give happiness, they give soothing effect, they make us comfortable. So it means all the subjects of paintings or sculptures, all the colors, what we have all around. Similarly, all those plants, every plant secretes different gases. Some gases they promote vata, pitta, kapha, and some plants they subside. So all different plants they have different effects on our physiology as well as psychology. So when it affects our psyche, it means our mind, our soul, our senses would be happy when we have right colors, right subjects, right proportion, right plants, right composition of everything all around us. So it means that will make our mind and soul and senses happy. So it means that that is non-material. Mind and soul is non-matter, but we feel happiness, and that happiness is, it can't be tested in lab, but one can experience it, one can feel it. So similarly, one house would become healthy when all material aspects as well as all those non-material aspects are in order, which affects our physiology and psyche, makes us happy. So as the definition of healthy person goes, that is applied in the case of every vastu, every house, every building, every factory, every shop, every complex, every mall, every building. So all these things should be in order to give good results, which affects physiological state, mental state, and spiritual state of a person, which makes the person happy, healthy, enthusiast, active, ambitious, Purusharthi, the one who does nice efforts and one who becomes achiever. So to provide all these things in a Vastu, one should be very careful. And that is why there is something very important which is required right from the selection of land. When land is selected, then when special puja is done. And when foundation is laid, then special puja is done. When housewarming ceremony is done, the special puja is performed. So what all these pujas, what they signifies, when we go and see the scientific aspect of all those pujas, all those prayers, all those activities, those are performed. So when performing the digging the foundation, laying the foundation, so what is done? So there are many things are used. Gems are used, many different metals are used, gold is used, silver is used. When different pujas are concerned, then different herbs are used, different things, edible things are used. This particular pulse, this particular, and those many things are used. Haldi, turmeric is used. So many metals are used, many herbs are used, many edible things are used, and those special chantings, all those sounds are used. So what we do by using these things? So like we vaccinate, in vaccination what we do? In vaccination, there is a special type of virus and bacteria which are made weak and entered in our body, and body develops antibodies. Similarly, when we perform pujas in different ceremonies, right from selection of land, then laying the foundation, housewarming ceremony. So there are different things are used. All those different things are seed. All those vibrations which are used, those work as the seed, those work as the shield for the bodies of the person who are going to live in that house. So all the elements, all the metals, all those things, all those grains, all those antibiotic things, whether it is turmeric or many things, all those types of sounds which are recited there, they make that land, that house, assimilated with the consciousness, energies of that particular area, like Atma, soul of an individual. When Yogastha Kurukarmani in Gita it is said, when it is aligned with that supreme consciousness, Yogastha Kurukarmani, then perform action. Then what happens? Maya Dikshen Prakriti Suyata Sacharasaram. So when one performs any duties or karma by being in alliance with that totality, then the potential of Atma, when it is Yogastha with Paramatma, with totality, with unity consciousness, then potential becomes infinite. So when all these pujas are performed, then the energy of that particular area is assimilated. Yogastha, it is assimilated. It is established in harmony with that totality, with that unity consciousness, which is responsible to running the universe in perfect order. So the potential of that particular place becomes infinite, becomes nourishing. The person who, it makes one contact. It is, like we play FM, so we put some special frequency, so it catches that. When you dial a number, then mobile catches that number. You start talking to that number. What all these things are? These are simply putting some coding so that that frequency is generated from that mobile, and you are connected with that particular mobile, wherever on the globe that another mobile is. Similarly, when all those frequencies are recited with the help of all those ingredients which are used in that puja, one special type of frequency and consciousness chemistry is generated which assimilates that individual consciousness, that the consciousness of that particular land or house with the universe. And this unification is very important if we take care of modern quantum mechanical theory, that is called entanglement. That is right, entanglement. So, on the consciousness level, that is entangled. That individual, that particular plot is entangled with that cosmic consciousness. So, in modern science, the quantum mechanical theory says when two parts are entangled, then they starts functioning in harmony. So, how whatever far they are. So that is something beautiful, wonderful. That's why the housewarming ceremony, all the pujas, all the chantings with all the havanas, we put this is til, this is jaw, this is shuddhi, and all those things are put together. They are put in fire. This havana is done. What all these combination of composition of material used in that havana means? Those are things which are converted into microform by you putting it in fire. They convert into micro fume and microform, and they merge in atmosphere. So that whole atmosphere, by performing the shilanyas, by performing the housewarming ceremony, Graha Pravesh Puja, Vastu Shanti, all those things are something wonderful which makes the plot, that particular longitude, that point of that particular longitude, latitude, it becomes assimilated like when we meditate, Yogastha Guru Karmani. Then that particular plot becomes Yogastha with that totality, that unity consciousness, and it becomes charged. It becomes established with that integrity in harmony with that total consciousness that nourishes us. So if we go back 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, then we won't find all these terms, anxiety, depression, all these words, all these diseases. If we go back, not only in India, in Western countries also, if you go back 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, where people were living in villages in more harmony, more close to nature, all these things were absolutely not there. Till now, all these terms, anxiety and depression, all these lifestyle diseases, they were not, absolutely not there in Indian culture. Hardly you would. So why all these things were not there? Because everybody was performing all these things. Every house was in alliance with absolute natural law. Every, like a person when meditates becomes yogastha in alliance with that totality. Similarly, every house was in alliance with that total natural law, and it was not only physically nourishing a person, but mentally, spiritually, consciousness-wise also, every house was nourishing every individual who was residing in that house. That was the wonder and miracle. Miracle means what? Miracle means simply something is happening, what we don't understand why it's happening. But because we don't observe how non-manifested value, unmanifested value, how it functions. So if we don't know how magnetism works, we'll find it miracle. But as soon as we know how magnet works, how iron dust are attracted to, dust particles are attracted to magnet, automatically how it goes and goes closer to and it sticks to magnet, all of those iron dust, iron particles. So if you don't know the mechanism, it will look like miracle that how something is going closer to magnet. But as soon as we start understanding magnetic field and how magnet works, it will become scientific. Similarly, when we know that how these manifested values as well as manifested values work together. So that is what is being described in modern quantum mechanical theories, that there are many, many layers of consciousness. There are many, many layers of functioning of nature, what we didn't understand till today. But now things are being explored by modern medical science and quantum mechanical theory, in entanglement, and all those terms are being used. What we are being practiced in our Vedic science, when parikrama was done around the mandir, around the idol, when sanskaras were imbibed by every individual, all the teachings were established, embedded in the consciousness of a person, and all these thoughts, all these memories, all these teachings which are taught right from, very, there are several solar sanskaras were there. So what all these samskaras means? By putting these ceremonies, these sounds, these activities, the consciousness is established, like in house, like in physiology. Those were the practices. All these practices were to make consciousness established with the unity of that unity consciousness which is running the universe. So these are the wonderful aspects of doing puja, doing graha pravesh puja, doing housewarming ceremony, what we call it Vastu Pujan and Graha Pravesh Pujan and Bhubi Pujan. All these things, they are very, very important aspect which keeps every individual in absolute harmony with nature, with unity, with cosmos. So that's why everybody who practices this lives very healthy on physical level, mentally at peace, and spiritually evolved to the fullest level. That's why when India was practicing all these things, India was the greatest contributor in GDP. Maximum diseases were not there. We had all the system that nobody was falling sick, but a person is sick because of priority effects, because of other things, then we have the knowledge to cure it also. So this holistic knowledge of natural laws, how the manifested natural laws and unmanifested, non-manifested natural laws, those are manifested in physical way, and those hidden energies which are not manifested, which can be tested in lab, how those things affect human physiology and human psyche. All these things were taken care of in Vedic science, and every part, every step of life was taken care of nicely and nourished nicely. So every individual was established in absolute harmony with natural laws, and everybody was enjoying best of physical health, mental peace, and spiritual evolvement. Height of spiritual values was achieved in Vedic sciences, Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and all those things. So we must take care of all these things. When we take care of house, when we select the land, when we construct the house, when we perform housewarming ceremony, then every And because these pujas, these ceremonies, these chanting of mantras, these are not merely karmkand, these are not merely rituals. These things have very scientific applied value on human physiology, human psyche, and now this modern science, quantum mechanical field of modern science, it is making everything closer. And if we try to understand modern science by quantum mechanical theory, the Nobel Prize of latest Nobel Prize, which is talking that word is illusion, it is making everybody clear what Advaita Vedanta means. How, what are the interactions between two objects which can interact faster than light. The fastest movement was 1,86,000 miles per second. That is the speed of light. But when two parts are quantum mechanically entangled, whatever far they instantly interact. It means some energy is moving and functioning faster than light. It means in modern science, if we try to understand through quantum mechanical field, then we'll understand all the Vedic sciences, branches of Vedic sciences, the science and technology of all these rituals, which are not rituals, those are applied scientific technologies to make individual consciousness assimilate with that unity consciousness by performing, by making the puja of different land and housewarming ceremony, bhumi pujan, vastu shanti, graha pravesh pujan, with all those ingredients and chanting and sounds. So these things are the tools, these things are the part of that applied science and technology, which makes every individual, every part, every latitude of the land quite beautifully, nicely, harmoniously assimilated with that unity consciousness which is running the universe perfectly. So this is something wonderful one should take care of very, very soundly, not just by propagation of those people who are not aware of all these depth of sound knowledge. Whatever they say, one should be very grounded, one should have proud of our tradition, one should be having all those honors for our tradition, because now modern science is reaching, giving a few glimpses by unified this quantum mechanical theory, telling about unified field and all that. So let the modern science and technology reach to that level, so that they will understand it later, Vedic science and technology. But we must try to enjoy and accomplish all the accomplishments which are provided by Vedic science and technology. That's why India was using all these technologies, and India was sowing its India. It was bud of gold. It was contributing a lot in global GDP. So let us revive, let us enjoy, let us have pride of our science and technology and tradition, of all those samskaras, all those traditions. And this must be enjoyed physically, mentally, and spiritually by every individual by understanding modern science and technology of Vedic science and technology.